Hi, I'm Cody, and today I'm going to talk about how we can avoid nuclear war with North Korea. To give you some background on the issue, it's been a long time coming. This has been in the works since 1976. 1990 is about when they got their first missile off the ground. And in 2017, after a number of years of ridicule regarding their missile program, North Korea is now believed to have fully functioning missiles, as that requires both the missile and a lightweight nuclear warhead, such as that. One solution that's been proposed is to use a Chinese and United States alliance to force the DPRK into compliance. This would rely on China's economic pressure and the United States' military pressure. Again, the DPRK would be forced to comply with international norms simply based off those two pressure factors. So let's talk about what we know about the DPRK. And frankly, the average American does not know a lot about the DPRK. So what we're going to do is take a bit of a quiz here. After each question, feel free to pause and write down your answer. Question 1. Who was the first leader of North Korea? What is the capital of North Korea? And what does DPRK stand for? Alright, let's move to the answers. Kim Il-sung was the first leader. Pyongyang is the capital. And DPRK stands for Democratic People's Republic of Korea. One thing that's worth noting is where our knowledge from North Korea comes from. As we can see, most of the things we understand about Korea come from movies and the news. But almost none of this comes from North Korea itself, meaning that we have an entirely outside perspective and no understanding of the inside culture, which causes us to not really understand how to best work with them, as they are incredibly isolationist. So now let's talk about the power structure and agency of the issue. The DPRK does not have a lot of international clout. As I said, they're isolationist. They have a Juche ideology, which is a form of communism and is thus hostile towards capitalist countries. As far as their agency, they really don't want to surrender their nuclear program. The United States of America has a great military power and okay international relations. They are known for taking military action in foreign governments and are typically anti-communist. As far as our question of agency, it really begs the question, do we have a right to make a military action against Korea, or will that just play into their narrative that the United States is about imperialists? Which brings us to China, which has a very great military power as well and okay international relations, mostly with DPRK. It's one of our only ins there. They're post-Maoist and an economic partner with the DPRK. That's sort of that power relation showing back up. And China is sort of getting tired of babysitting for the DPRK. They are tired of kind of having to constantly be the advocate for DPRK and want to maybe take a bit less of an active role. So let's analyze the Chinese-American alliance. Is it a win-win? That's a flat no. The DPRK has little to nothing to gain from compliance with this alliance, other than continued existence, but they think they can nuke us first, or in retaliation. Is the solution culturally sensitive? No, not at all. The solution will feed into both DPRK's belief that America is imperialist and strained Chinese relations, which we talk about in this next bit, of does it take the political environment into account? Answer, no. The solution will sour DPRK-Chinese relations because the Chinese and DPRK are already on kind of shaky ground, as China is post-Maoist and DPRK is Juche. So DPRK views itself as being the last bastion of communist thought in the world, even compared to Cuba. and they view the Chinese as state capitalists who, in a way, turn their back on Mao. So, further souring those relations could completely obliterate this little economic clout that they'd have, and just cause them to become a truly isolationist rogue state. So, again, this solution is just not viable. Which brings us to an important question. Are we all going to die? Answer? Luckily, I don't think so. There's been a recent unexpected twist with relations between North Korea and South Korea. Those relationships are improving in ways we've really never seen happen before. We saw a unified Korea at the Pyeongchang Winter Olympics, and we're seeing that South Korea is no longer broadcasting propaganda and K-pop into North Korea, which has been something that's annoyed them. As a result, and as a result of other international factors, Kim Jong-un is ceasing his missile testing. He claims that he has the missiles now, and so he needs to focus on the next biggest threat to his people, which is his economy. So he's going from missiles now to his economy for the supposed betterment of his people. Thank you. I hope that this has been informative, and you now really understand what's going on with North Korea. Thanks again. Bye.